And what do the boys do that you've managed to keep them gadget-free? You've managed to keep them boredom-free? How did you turn around from being this person who said, I'm never going to have kids, I hate kids, to being this amazing mother that you are?
I think I've always been very clear in my head as to what I want and how I want to do things in my everyday life, whether it's having children or whether it's...
I don't have that courage myself. Where does that come from?
Parenting, for me, does not come from a place of fear.
What did you do to make sure that that rivalry never came?
So it's a vibe that you create, that I created very, very consciously.
Where do you think we are going wrong? What do you think we need to do differently as parents? There were two things that you could tell the fathers. As conscious as you've been as a parent, you've been very conscious and very hands-on. Is there still something you feel like you regretted in your parenting journey? This is a difficult introduction for me. Clearly, I had it all written down, what I am going to say for my next guest on this Full Circle podcast. She is a very established actor. She's the one who made The Girl Next Door so popular. She's been on screens and in your hearts for a very long time. She's married this amazing, amazing man and has two lovely, lovely children. She's somebody who I never in my wildest dreams thought that she could have been the most amazing homemaker that she has become and the most amazing mother that she is. But she is, you know, I'm 44 in my generation. We were not parented by Google. We had our biological parents. And then we had some friends. And I was this nerdy kid who had no friends, no one liked me. I had a surname called Hathi and I was definitely overweight and not cool at all. And in my 10th grade, this very cool, popular girl, you know, she just kind of walked into class, first day of class. And I was always made to sit on the first bench as a punishment. Okay, but she walks in and she was so bright that I was covering my face like that. I'm like, what's this? You know, pure sunshine. She walked in and she said, hi. And for me, that was weird because nobody had said hi to me in 10 years. And she said, my name is Kanchi. And I'm like, oh, hi, Kanchi. Can I sit here? And I said, sure. I was overwhelmed because no one in 10 years really wanted to sit next to me. It's a long story before I show you who Kanchi is. What this girl did for me, nobody else did. That was the first starting point of my life. She, after a couple of weeks and months of knowing me, she said that, hey, listen, I think you should take part in this elocution. I think you're very good. And I'm like, are you crazy? I can't speak in front of 3 people. And I'm like, no, you must. I don't know what got into her. She kind of pushed me into it. And when I kept saying no, she said, listen, either you do this or we are not friends anymore. I couldn't risk that because I had no other friends. Forget a cool, popular friend. I did that for her, just to not lose her. And I found myself with that. Kanchi Kaul.
Stop. You've got tears in my eyes. That's a rarity.
Yeah. Kanchi Kaul is my secret diary. She's the one who, you know, the first person who ever taught me what the word smooch means. That's the friend. It's been 35 years of friendship. And I have to bring Kanchi on board because I am a parenting coach, but I'm not I'm not half as good a parent as she is. She has two lovely boys, Azay and Ivar, who are pieces of my heart. And I think everyone can take a page or two from how we need to parent a new generation. Um, I didn't know a lot of things back then, and I don't know a lot of things back now.
We're all learning.
Yeah. Can't you tell me, how did you turn around from being this person who said, I'm never going to have kids, I hate kids, to being this amazing mother that you are?
Firstly, I am so happy to be here before we start this conversation. I am so happy and I'm so proud of you, right? Since we were 10 years old. You just didn't know it then. But I knew this is where it's going to be. I still remember the Oprah tattoo. Yeah. But I'm just very happy to be here. And coming back to your question about parenting, I mean, it was never that I hate kids, but it was just something that was very alien to me because I started working when I was 15 years old, right until I was 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And I think I've always been very clear in my head as to what I want and how I want to do things in my everyday life, whether it's having children or whether it's just brushing my teeth. I just always wanted to do it in the right way. And I believe that when you do something in the right way and you want things that are truly meaningful as far as this journey of ours is concerned, which is very finite, I just wanted to do it right. And I just wanted my children to imbibe certain things that would truly make them wild, free, happy, like true happiness, and just very respectful boys. I think that's a good mix.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I started off from.
It's brilliant because when you say that I want you to do it right, for a normal person, right would mean that you prune your boys to be like a little bonsai that looks good on the table. Where your children are like wild oaks. You can't contain them in a home, and yet they are doing everything right. They're now as old as like a 10 and a 7.
They're 9 and 10.
9 and 10. And I haven't seen them with a gadget. I've seen them, you have beautiful farms, and they take me around and, they'll tell me, Kavya, that's the avocado, and that's the mooli, and that's the bengan. And they know more about the gardens than I do.
Than I do as well.
How?
I was very clear about all these things that I wanted for them. I want them to make their choices out of instinct, right? Not out of me imposing something. And it's really very, very simple because if I make them lead that life, like I remember when, when they were little babies, the one thing that I knew I did not want for them is a gadget. That was the one thing I knew I did not want for them. So it had to start from us because we are so, it's for our work and things like that. I actually started putting that screen down. And now, of course, it's a habit. Now they're 10 years old. They know I need to do work or whatever it is. The brain can understand that. But out of habit, when they come in, the phone still goes the other way. Now, these are the small things that, it was never in front of them. I stopped watching TV until 8:30, till the time they slept. And I have a beautiful family who helped me do that. Yes. And we all used to watch TV then. Now they're of an age where if there's a match or if there's, a football game, we all sit and we watch it because we're using it as a tool to entertain us. They are also of the age to use the television as a tool to entertain them. They are not in need or in want of a portable gadget to feed them that excess information and to keep them so immersed more than, anything, more than any addiction, more than any narcotic, more than any, you think of the worst things when you think of child safety. But this is really the worst. And that's one thing I wanted them to organically not choose. And that's how I decided that I'm going to live my life and we are going to live our life as a family.
There are times when I see Azay and Avar and my heart skips a beat. Forget how good looking they are, but they are doing such deadly stunts that I want to slap you. Like, I actually feel like they're going to hurt their head, and you'll just hold my hand and you'll be, just let them be. And you'll watch. I don't have that courage myself. Where does that come from?
So, parenting for me does not come from a place of fear. It comes from a place of love and of exploration. Of course, it can't be stupid, you know what I'm saying? But fear is something I feel that controls. Love lets you be. And if they can, if they're outdoor boys, I know their bodies, I know their capabilities. I know that, a thing of operating from a place of fear, like parenting from a place of fear versus a place of love. I just feel that it started when they were very small. Like, I remember when they were 2 years old, both of them individually, when they were 2 years old, they wanted to get off the side wheels of the cycle. And my first instinct was, no, they're going to fall. And then I said, no. Why am I operating from a place of fear? Why is my parenting operating from a place of fear? What's going to happen? I'm going to be there behind them, with my hands, not touching them, but with my hands around them. And if they're falling, I'm going to be running with that cycle. How fast can a 2-year-old go? And my hand will be there. And if they fall, they're falling from 2 feet. It's fine. My breath's not going to change. I'm going to be smiling. I'm going to say, come on, let's get up. Let's do it again. Resilience starts from there. And children are so sharp. Their bodies, their minds, they know how to fall unless we teach them how not to. They know how to fall. And I'm there to teach them how to get up. And then that becomes a part of their instinct. So now at the age of 10, when they're doing certain things, I know that they're not going to be stupid about it. They're only going to do something that they know their body can attempt doing. They'll practice it and they'll get better at it. So that's where then all those things and those debates over, oh my God, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I'm scared. It doesn't exist in our lives because that's the life we have led.
I think a lot of credit even needs to go to Shabir for a certain attitude that he has, because him being this sports person has made your boys outdoor boys. I remember Azay was a year old, Ivar was born, and Azay had a fall. I was there around your house at a certain time. Because it was your first, Azay was your first baby, I've seen you panic when the baby got colic and did something happen to him, but that was a phase of 15 days.
Yes,
okay?
That's also, sorry to interrupt you, but that's also because for 15 years I worked. I was working till I was 7 months pregnant. I had no idea about a diaper. I had no idea what is something called colic. I was not on Google. I was not in mom's books. I was shooting. So when the baby cried, I had no idea.
I remember a very powerful thing that happened. Azay had a fall and he had a cut. And you were sitting, he got some stitches, and Shabir told you when you were upset about it. He said, Kanchi, this is not the last. This is the first of many. I have never forgotten that.
Me neither.
I've never forgotten it. And I've told my children this, that, oh, you're in pain? This is not the last swing of your life. This is the first of many.
Yes.
What a powerful lesson that
Yes.
is from Shabir to all of us.
Yes.
That we can't play God to our kids.
Can't play God anywhere. It comes back and it bites you really bad. You've got to, they are children. In this hyper digital world, if we are not able to preserve that as a generation, it's really doomsday, and we're seeing that everywhere. So, you know, they have to know resilience. Like, that is one quality which is non-negotiable. You have to know what it is to be resilient, to keep falling, to get back up, and to be happy about it, and to say, what was that lesson I learned from it? Because if you are not in control of your mind, and you're going to let all these influences come into your life, and it's a harsh world. Childhood is actually very, very harsh. Children have no filter, you know. And now with today's absolutely, you know, unnecessary and excessive information, there's so much coming into their lives. And if we are not going to be there everywhere, how much are you going to protect? They have to be able to make those decisions, you know. They have to be able to figure out what to do, what is going to affect their mind. Does this need to affect me? No, move on. Have I lost? Okay, what can I do better? I'm not a victim. I'm here because of the choices I have made. And some may not be right, but what do I learn from them? And move on. It's another day, it's a new day. It's not the end of anything, you know? So, yes, they will fall, they will have aches, they will have pains, and they'll learn from it. And in a few years, which they've already started now, they'll be joking about it. Look at my scars. Because those are the things you talk about, right? How we fell, or how we messed up, or, you know, what were those stupid things that you did? That's what makes life beautiful, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Those are the stories that we grow up on, and our next
Exactly.
generations are going to grow up on.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've seen Shabir, you, and two boys behind you on bicycles on Sundays, where your children have done 15 kilometers of cycling a day.
One way.
So that's 30 kilometers a day.
And this was a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And I've seen both the boys doing a Himalayan trek
Yes.
with you,
Yes.
getting stranded in...
And oh my God, a blizzard. Yes. Absolute madness. Yes.
Where does that courage come from? That we are going to be okay? Because honestly, as a parent, if somebody asks me, what's your worst fear? And I'll be like, something physically happening to my kids. I may not have the courage to expose them to something like that, it amazes me how effortlessly you do it. Where does it come from?
So, this is something that's been there before I became a parent, right? This is my quality that I have inculcated and evolved with, which is traveling, as you know, is exploring, is finding new experiences, it's all of this. It's got to do with adventure. I can, you know, do something adventurous. I can be just sitting and looking up at the stars and enjoying that. Now, that is something which even Shabir shares, as part of his personality. And that is something that I was never ready to let go of after I had kids in today's world, which is hyper digital. In fact, it is a quality that most people may not have, but I feel it is something as adults we need to, even for ourselves, because we're from office and work, and you know, it's a highly sedentary life, and it is something we have to inculcate, to explore new things, to make that plan, to make it happen. If there's a few days, you know, let me get off work, they don't have school, let's do something, go to a new place. It doesn't have to always be a resort. You know, it has to be, you're going, you know, you're just doing stuff, you're going up the Himalayas. Now, these boys have have been doing this since they were 2 years old. So when at 8 and 9, when I say, let's go to the Himalayas, they are up with me. And it was just the three of us. In fact, I still remember, we were going for a very difficult trek. And Ivar was, he had a little bit of fever, and it was just the three of us. And we were literally staying, it was, up in the Himalayas, and I couldn't leave him. There were no nannies, and there were 7 and 8. So I said, it's fine. Why don't you I'll give you something for your fever, and you stay back. And he had a bit of a stomach bug, and you can stay back in the room, keep it locked, which I knew I was not going to do. I was just, testing him,
Yeah.
keeping it very calm, see what he'll say, which I would have eventually cancelled that day. And he said, you know what, Mom, I'm going to come, because if I take that Crocin, my fever's gone for 4 hours. I said, yes, but your stomach's not okay. It's freezing, the weather. You're so layered up. And, Azai, we're going to be walking at a particular pace. And this was when he was 7 years old, 2 years ago. And he said, but we always have the guides, right? And, they're also all strong. They're always trekking. I'm hardly, 22 kilos. If I can't walk, he'll just pick me up, and, we'll go chit-chatting. And this was actually the way he said it. I said, okay, then let's go. I'll just take a Crocin with me. And it didn't end there. We have gone up, it's freezing, and he's, he said, Mama. I said, yes. He said, I think I have dirtied my pants. And he was very embarrassed about that fact. My breath didn't change. My nothing changed on my face. I said, no problem. You're going to feel really cold, but I'm going to help you. I've got wipes, got all of that. I'm going to help. He was like this for those 2 minutes. But he knew that I've got to take it because it's going to help me. Yeah. And he took it. We disposed that off somewhere where it was actually disposable, because we went with that dirty little thing to make sure that we don't dirty it anywhere. And he carried it with him, disposed it off, and it was a great day. It's that simple. We just put in too much thought into, oh my God, how's this going to be? How's that going to be? Something that's dangerous is not going to be allowed because it's dangerous. And I'm telling you it's dangerous. It's dangerous. You can see it. Your mind can tell you that. So you're not going to do that. But other than that, why not? Now, till now, I tell you that story, or, he tells that story. He feels so great about it. Why is that? If it was just, okay, let's take a car, and we'll never have fun stories to tell.
I think what you've done is you haven't always made it easy for them, and yet you made it so easy for them, because now they know within themselves what they can do. I've also seen the boys come to you several times with a problem situation, and they said, Mama, this has happened, and you've never given them a solution. You've always asked, what do you think we should do? And then both the boys will talk within themselves, and they'll be like, can we do this? And you're like, okay, if that's what you want to try, then you go ahead with that. I love the fact that both the boys they're solution-oriented boys. You made them that. But more than that, there's a bonding between Azay and Ivar, which is not something that I have. I mean, they have each other's back, literally. What did you do to make sure that rivalry never came in?
It started right from the time I was pregnant with Ivar. It started then. It actually started then, now that I think back. And it was always excitement about the new baby coming, and the whole vibe and the whole talk around used to always be everything positive. Even now, when there's two different individuals, one's going to do well in something, one's not going to do well in something, that's how it's always going to be. But we're always appreciating, and we're always trying to do better for ourselves. Even with them, it's always about, Azai, what can you do better? How can you write better? How can you recheck your work better? How can you play your sport better? And the same goes for him, for Ivar. So, and when the other one does, everybody, the whole family, everybody just goes and says, wow, great job done. When the job is not done, we come back, we say, okay, what could we have done to make it better? Let's do it better for ourselves. It's for nobody else. And when that happens, there's no competition. And there's never a talk where it's compared. And definitely not in a negative way. Definitely not. If someone today, if you know, if they say the building, the sweeper, I've wished, I said, namaste bhaiya. One has wished, and by chance, which never happens, the other has not wished. Go wish him. Why haven't you wished him? So they're also there to check each other. So it's a vibe that you create, that I created very, very consciously. And the age gap, it's the same gender, that helps. The age gap, I always wanted to have 2 kids back to back, and touch wood, I was lucky enough to do so, because the interests are the same, the friends are the same, they have to be together. And there is nothing material that is given importance. And of course, they're children, that pencil at that point is very important, which is fine, no problem. You pass in the moment, but it's never gone beyond that superficial level, because the minute it does, I'm right there to bring it down, saying this is not yours. So don't go over this. This is not what we do. And they see it. This is not what this family does. So there are these few lines that have been going on since probably before they could even understand language. And those sentences, it's like, you very slyly indoctrinate, the mind, and then it becomes like how when we were kids, I remember my father used to say, switch off the light, switch off. I never switched it off. But because it was told to me, it's like how we brush our teeth. It just becomes a part of you. So it keeps on, those sentences. I'm like, this is not yours. There's only one thing. There is only one thing in this world that is truly and entirely yours. And that is this.
The body.
This. Mind, body, and soul. This is the only thing that's yours. And that's the only thing that I want from you. What is that, Mama? I said, I want you to keep it in pristine condition. Now that meaning changes from age to age. So as we move forward, I realize the debates over things that everybody is having issues with in terms of parent-child does not exist. Because they're not going to come and ask me, can I eat this, can I eat that? They're not. Because it's just been told to them, and they know it and they believe it. So again, like I said, it's coming from a place of instinct, the choice, more than impose. So it works well.
I have never seen the boys getting bored. Never. And if they were just lolling around, looking at their own fingers and toes, I've never seen you getting bothered that, oh, are they getting bored?
Yes.
Never. I think it comes from the fact that you are so comfortable that just let them be. And that's been a huge gift. We don't know how to let our children be. How have you managed to keep, what do the boys do that you've managed to keep them gadget-free? You've managed to keep them boredom-free?
So bored was actually a banned word till they were about 5 years old. Then COVID came in and they were in the house. Post 5 is when you go to school, you have, you hear your other children talking about it. And that's a word that I saw everywhere. And I saw that in all ages. And I saw parents getting, it's a constant struggle. And I said, this is what I don't want. So what do I do? So the board was banned. It was never spoken in the house. Then COVID happened, so there was no school. I was homeschooling them. And at that point in time, so there was still no use of the word bored until they were maybe when school started, right? So about say till they were 7 or 8. By then, it was set, right? Because we can sit on the window and do nothing and have a great time looking at what shade of green that parrot is, or we can enjoy that the gutli of the mango, because it's a joy that you can feel. It's not I wouldn't even say it's a pleasure, and always to do things, just sweep the floor. That was when they were kids. Now they have other things to do. That the concept was never around. It was never spoken about. It was something that it was just not there in the system, in the environment, in the being. It never came about. Now they hear it all the time from school. Now that they're 9 and 10, and when they come back from school, it's always, it spills out, right? Like as soon as they come home, whatever's happening in school, blah, 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 it all comes out. Sometimes that comes out. Oh, mama is so boring. I'm like, God, that just sounds so terrible to my ears. Imagine, I said, look at your face. The minute you say I'm bored, you get a frown, no matter who it is. I said, why are you changing such a lovely face? God has given you that beautiful smile, boys. Why do you want to do that? You have so many things to do. And I diss it. So when they hear that 50 times, oh yes, well, my face not looking, it works. And they are moved on to the next thing because it's not a part of their being. So who wins? They win for life. I get a few benefits because they are not, troubling me over this. Really, it's stupidity. It's a terrible state for anybody to be in. I'm bored. It's a huge problem, and I'm just glad that they have found a way around it.
Where are we all going wrong? Where are we? I mean, it's a very difficult generation. Sometimes I feel lost. Sometimes I feel like I need to research into this generation. But where the hell are we going to research? Because it's so new for all of us,
yes,
right?
It is.
So every new child that I meet is a study in himself or herself. Where do you think we are going wrong? What do you think we need to do differently as parents?
I don't think I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm no one to impose on anybody. But answers are very simple. It's very simple, and I don't know why people are trying to complicate it. A lot of things have changed. We don't have, we've gone indoors. We have gone into smaller spaces. We have gone nuclear as families. A lot of times both people are working, and things like that. There is a lot of attention on having the good life, like this Instagram life, and it's starting from the elders. The grandparents also, if they are at home, they're on WhatsApp, with the forward. So the whole environment has become very disconnected. Now that is something that is going to play. Then you also, you're tired, you've come back after a long day, just, let me be. You need your own time. So it's a lot of factors. It's not one particular thing. But as far as a child is concerned, you cannot, a portable gadget for that mind. Would you send your child out, into a place or an area with really bad influences of society, with everyone telling you that you need this product for girls, or you need that product, or you need this cup, or you need, it's just telling you that you're getting, or for the boys, into violence, into this whole masculinity, influencers who they are following, group chats, no respect for each other's bodies, lots of things. And it all starts with that gadget. They have so much information. For what? There is no need. You have to work hard. You have to go do your things. You have to fall. You have to be resilient. You have to have real life experiences. The world is a harsh place out there. What is this going to do for you? You want to get in touch? I give them a Nokia when they need, if there is no driver, if there's nobody there. You get in touch with me. I'm here. If need be, not that they need to have it every time. It's for a particular journey where they're all by themselves and they're not of the age. Why should I give it? How much will I control as a parent once I give that? It takes 1 second. They're way, way smarter than us. My children are gadget free, and gadget free in the sense, that's another thing I've always told them. You cannot stay away. Please understand, you cannot stay away from technology. But your brain has to be of a certain age to understand how to use it. You have to use it as a tool. That can only come with age. And they also see that there was no TV or no screen maybe at 2 or 3. At 7 or 8, today if there's a football game, we sit and watch it as a family. At 10 and 12, of course, if they're a boy, you will want to play a video game. We used to sit and play those, little Nintendos and things. You will get it at that age when you earn it. And you will earn it because you're doing great. So you will get that half an hour. But it is meant to entertain you. And my win is what? My win is not you begging for me. My win is, you're busy doing your work on a Sunday and I am coming up to you, which is, now I do that on a Sunday. I'm like, guys, you all have been so great with the things, whatever that you had to do, you did it correctly. Not about your marks, not about your results, not about your wins. Whatever you had to do, whether you had to make your bed, you had to comb your hair, you did it correctly. Sure, please take 30 minutes. Really? They want it. They feel great. Boys, 30 minutes over. Let's go play. I've given them something exciting and they're done. So they are using it now for work, sometimes for school. But there is no, I need to go somewhere else and find somewhere else, because they have already got their happiness in the outdoors, with their friends, with their family, with things that really interest them. I can't build an interest at 12 and 13 saying, no, leave the gadget, let's go farming. They're going to be like, Mom, what are you talking about?
I think it all, as I hear you, it makes more sense to me that as parents, sometimes we are so scared that, oh, my child is going to go out, my child is going to get tanned, my child is going to get hurt, my child is going to feel like there's nobody else to play. I might as well give them a phone in their hand right now and they're going to be okay. But we're killing them. We're killing their intellect.
Not going to be okay. With the portable gadget, you are with pedophiles, you're with narcotics, you're with skin deep treatments, you're with plastic surgery, you're with everything that you can think of. How are you going to monitor that?
Yeah, it's impossible.
It is impossible. What is that mind going to feel? They're always going to feel they're never enough. How were we when we were teenagers? We were so vulnerable and we didn't have all this. Now they've got all this. What are we? We are causing so much. To them, of course, to us, to our relationship. And that today I see a lot of parents, but we gave them everything. Yeah. And it's a mess. The bond is a mess. I'm like, but you're not supposed to give them everything. The answer is very simple. So when this new show that has come up, about
adolescence.
Yes. I see so many websites and so many, handles talking about, what you can do and how you can monitor it and how you should talk. They're all there to, again, get you to click, to get your traction or to get your attention, because the answer is very simple. But no one is going to put that out because it's not going to get the attention, right? You need something, dhamakedar, like they say, to get the attention. The answer is very simple. Just no portable gadget.
I guess we've become a age of very lazy parents as well. We don't like to say that, But it's hard work running with your children, cycling with your children.
Especially today.
It is hard. So it's just becomes easier that, okay, I've got so many hours of office work to do. At least when I come home, I want some peace. And that's fair.
Yes.
But there have to be other alternatives. It kills me to see that, there's a 1-year-old child in a restaurant, that somebody is feeding this child
my
and the
God.
child is on a phone.
There
and
are
like,
times when I've been held, because this is a topic that is so close to my heart. I have seen right from 0 to 15 in the last decade.
Yeah.
I've seen so many children, I've seen school, and I'm seeing what's happening.
Yeah.
And parents are struggling because they're only reacting to an action. Again, a thing that I keep telling my children, that stop reacting, stop becoming the victim after you react. Think about what you're going to do. Think about all the results that your mind can process. Think about what can happen. Do you want to go that way? So I tell them there's a circle. It's a very dirty circle. It pulls you in, it pulls you in, it pulls you in. You have many choices, right? If the choice leads to that circle, where it's going to pull you in into, so you want something at the same time. Like, that's a very childish thing, right? Like, that's the
instant gratification.
I want, both want it at the same time. I'm like, why walk that path? I know you're a child. I know you want it. Just wait 2 minutes. We'll both get it. Of course, it doesn't happen. It's still going on. It's been 10 years. But that's my job. I have made them. My job is to enable them my job is to enable them to make decisions, to go through life physically fit, mentally fit. That is my job. I have no other job if I have made them. And how do I do that? By just being present. Not right, not perfect. Just being there, looking at them, making eye contact, coming down. Sometimes, we're at a height, like I remember when they were small, is to come down, talk to them at their eye level. These are things that make them feel great. I'm also getting that adult attention. Why not? You're a human being. You need it. You deserve it. And so does everybody else around you. And when you don't have that, that's another thing, Without that gadget, your attention is everywhere else. To everybody. You see everybody. As parents, I made it a point. I want to see everybody. Whether it's the nariyal wala, whether it's the newspaper wala, whether it's anybody, whether it's someone, whether it's messy or whatever, I see everybody. And I'm the same with everybody. I'm giving you respect. I'm giving you love. I'm not going to take nonsense. I'm not going to give you nonsense. They see that every day, morning to night. They become that. When they become that, their sense of community, right? Their sense of warmth from people, everything increases. What happens to them? They are enabled to be even more confident, to be a people's person. Hello, bhaiya, kaise hain? Aapne ye kaise kiya? Aapne wo kaise kiya? Oh my God, Ronaldo, how did you do that? How did you win those trophies? It's the same. Because they are seeing people. They want to be with people. And it's only this, right? How they, like another thing of emotionally intelligent people happens how? Through feelings, through emotions, when you actually physically connect with somebody. It doesn't happen with the gadget. You're out.
Most of the times, I've also seen that you live in a very, very entertaining, very beautiful joint family. Lots of you together. When I speak to the parents, they say that, yeah, I'm trying my best, but then, then the grandparents just give in and then the grandparents spoil them. How have you managed to maintain that in this house, it'll be one voice and everybody has one voice?
Yes.
How does that happen?
And that took a little bit of time, to be very honest. Grandparents want to give.
Yeah.
And that's very difficult to stop them. and they want to give and they want to keep giving. And now there are so many options to give. You know, you can go to a store, you can give toys, you can give so many very attractive looking packets to eat, and you know, these various drinks and things like that. So it didn't happen from day one, let's put it that way. But it was a lot of talking, a lot of sharing, and then a lot of seeing other children, what was happening with them. And then coming back, and not by putting anybody down, but coming back and saying that, you know, mom, dad, these are the things I'm talking about. No, you know, you used to eat, you know, junk, you all used to eat biscuit, you all used to eat wafer. I said, yes, because our food was great, our air was great, our water was great. I said, now, I said, our, you know, even a chakli used to be home fried by a lady and sent out. So yes, the oil was not the greatest, but everything else was great. And today I said, you're going to get ultra processed foods. And how much of that are you going to give? Then they don't want to eat the other thing. So I said, and what's that going to do for them? You know, this is for them, do it for them. It took a while, but then
They get it.
they get it.
They get it.
They get it. They get it. Like a thing like packet of chips, you know, that you get in these markets. And I just kept telling them, I said, what's the point? Just give them the food. And today, now, of course, that the chips packets are not home even from the grandparents'
I've
side.
seen the boys
It's the food.
enjoy bengan ka raita and palak ki sabji and rice, and as if it is a delicacy from heaven.
Delicacy,
And
absolutely.
it is
Because they're burning it again.
Yes.
They're outdoor.
Yes,
they're burning it. They're hungry. And they are eating. And so it's a cycle, right? It's one thing, again, action, reaction. You choose your action. And then you just see how everything starts falling into place. But you take that one easy step and then
You know, you had a very I've seen you through it, right? We were 14 and you were in school, and I saw that the first advert that came out was Nirma.
Jai soap.
Jai soap,
Yes.
right? You're climbing a tree with
Yes.
these little pigtails, looking behind, and it was so amazing seeing your whole journey. I know that for you it was a very conscious decision to put your career on pause when the children were born. It was like, I am going to pay full attention to this phase of my life now.
It was, but like I said, when I had, especially as I had just stopped shooting, and it was a break. I was never around kids. So actually it was a break where I said, okay, you know, 2 years or 3 years, maybe till they're 5 years old, is when they need me. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to be home finally after so many years. And I'm going to be there to take care of them, because at that point you need that extra pair of hands, you know, the diapers, the nappies, the food, the sanitation, you know, all of that stuff. And that's again, and when they were 5, I decided that's when I'm going to work, right? Because now they'll go to school. And COVID happened, and I was forcefully, we were all made to sit at home for another 2 years. So that was until 3 years ago. And then I said, this is the time they need me. Who is going to, because now they can do everything on their own, they have school, but who is going to be present for when they walk out of the lift and they don't give that respect or that greeting to the watchman? Who is going to be there? Because it's a very small thing. It's going to take them a long way ahead. Who's going to be there when they have that little argument? Or who's going to be there when they come home and say, oh, you know, that's so boring, because they heard it from school? I need to be there to kind of, again, get that mind and that body back on that path. So then I realized that, yes, my presence, I've made them, I have to enable them, I need to be here.
Because as parents, we need to realize that the minute we shift from our position, the children are going to replace us with Google.
Oh, yes. Oh,
right?
yes.
And Google is not the most reliable parent. So
The gadget. I have big problems with that.
I see that. But it's been fantastic. If there were two things that you could tell the fathers, what would that be? Because we don't pay much attention there. It feels like it's always a mother's job to bring up the children. And I've been so inspired by Shabir and how he's been there. What do the fathers need to hear?
That they are, you know, it's equal partnership. And by equal partnership, I don't mean that whatever we do, they have to do, or whatever they do, we have to do. I'm all for everyone, being independent and having their own thought. But the father also brings his bit to the table. And it's very, very, very important to know that you are a team. It is not you versus me. And if that's a way of life, it is organically going to come into the kids. They are never going to, he will bring the side. If I'm saying something, he knows, yes, it's the right thing. There may be times where I may push it a bit too much or whatever. He comes back into the room, Kanchi, I don't think this is, I wouldn't, not why are you doing this? There's a way of talking, there's a way of giving respect. And when that happens, the teamwork of what the father brings when the mother is also there, it's always on the same page. Yeah. So today, if I'm here, he'll be like, you know what, the kids have a holiday, let me take them, to the club. Let's play some paddle, or let's go for a swim. So if I'm not there, he's
equally
there.
involved.
Yes, and if he's not there, I'm there. But it's never about, oh, you did not have the time for the last 1 month. It's never that, because we are a team. And the line of respect is very, very high. And we both want the same thing at the end of the day. So we are not acting and reacting on these little things. We are saying this is what we want. And these are the choices we're going to make every day to make sure that they're well enabled.
With as conscious as you've been as a parent, you've been very conscious and
Yes.
very hands-on. Is there still something you feel like you regretted in your parenting journey, or something that you would have done differently?
Can I say no?
Yes, you can.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay. I think I've places. Sometimes, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
And if I made a mistake, I realize I made a mistake. Sometimes if I made a mistake with them, like if sometimes a word that I'm not supposed to say, and I don't mean a bad word in terms of how I'm supposed to tell them no. Maybe sometimes it can be a bit harsh. I talk about it. I say, guys, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I don't think I should have spoken that way. It did not sound very good to my ears, so I'm sure it won't sound very good to yours. But it's
Owning
okay.
up.
It's
Owning
okay.
up that as parents we can make mistakes
Yes,
as well.
it's okay. Like I said, you don't have to be right.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be there. You just have to know what you want, how you're going to get it. It's like a job, right? You've got to know what you want, how you're going to go about getting it. You've got to study, you've got to do this, you've got to do, and how you are going to speak. Most important.
I think what I take away from this whole conversation are 2-3 such important things that let them be.
Of course.
Also, your children are going to fall. It's not going to be the last fall. It's going to be the first of many. Also, that don't let your fears reflect on your children, because they're watching you and they're learning that what's a good situation and what's a bad situation. I think you've been a phenomenal architect to their lives. You and Shabir together, what a brilliant team and what brilliant children. But we're going we're going to talk more, and we're going to talk more on friendships the next time.
For sure.
Because what we've created over 35 years has been invaluable. But that's for another conversation.
That is spectacularly special. Let's put it that way.
I
You know,
love
when
you.
I love you too much.
Thank you.
Too much.
Thank you for being my other mother.
Wild mother.
The wild one.
The nice one. I can be all of it, which is good. It's good to have the entire package. And I'm just so happy to be here. I really it's something that's very, very close to my heart. I just want children, you know, to be wild and free and have fun and be joyous and be away from that gadget till the time they know how to use it for work. And I want the families to enjoy that childhood and to have those memories with each other, you know. It's the best thing. That's what you're going to take out from your life. You know, you're going to look back and this is what you're going to value the most.
I think the one thing that you did very beautifully is that you never aimed for trophy children and you won at life. You won at life.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, because
that's the hope. That's the struggle.
They are so whole and complete within themselves.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest trophy that you could have gotten as a mother. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. And to many more nice chats.
Many more lovely chats. Thank you, everybody. And anybody who's having trouble with your parenting journey, because it is a tough one. It's not easy. Even the people who make it seem easy have put in tons and tons and tons of hours of work and effort. But if you're having trouble with your parenting journey, reach out to us at The Full Circle, and our expert team of therapists will be right there to handhold you.